Stronger.
Imagine a world without choices.
Stronger.
Imagine you can't make your own decision. That wouldn't be a world for me. That wouldn't be a world for you. UIC.
Tell them we're gonna be stronger. Together, together we can make it right. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. Gonna be stronger together. Time we all just unify. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. It is a natural right for every human being to be free. Free, so free. So the government is there to protect you and me. UIC objective is to liberate the citizens from colonial bondage, them regulation, them taxation. Rob Jamaica, we independent. Be stronger together, together we can make it right. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. We're gonna be stronger together. Come, we all just unify. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. Non-partisan, constitutional, Republic of
Good night, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of UIC Liberty TV. I'm your host for tonight, Naika Williams, the Treasurer and Admin Assistant for the UIC. Now, before we get into tonight's live, I'm going to call it a live. Before we get into tonight's live, I must remind you about our town hall meeting coming up on the 13th of May, starting at 7 p.m. London time, 1 p.m. Jamaica time. So we had our first town hall on August 30th in St. Elizabeth, and our second town hall now will be taking place in London. Don't forget that you can call our WhatsApp. It's 1-876-471-6598 for the Zoom link or to RSVP your physical attendance for that event. Don't forget, this is just as important as the first town hall that we have. So please tell a friend to tell a friend. You're all welcome. It's non-partisan, whether you're from the green, the orange, all are welcome to share your thoughts. All right. Now, for tonight's episode, it will be a bit different from what you are used to, right? I know we're used to having the president coming on sometimes with a guest, and you will get to interact with him, answer your questions and so forth. But tonight is somewhat different. We'll be looking at a rebroadcast of a interview that the president did with Miss Shelly Curran from Teatime with Shelly. Now, he did an interview with Miss Shelly on our channel, but a second interview took place on Miss Curran's channel. So that's what we'll be looking at. So before I go into that, let me just welcome our early birds, persons who are always here. I'm seeing Hot Wax Promotion, Miss Gloria Williams, good night. Good night, Mr. Tony. Good night, Linford Wilson. Keep the comments coming, guys, throughout the entire video. Keep the comments coming. Don't forget, if you see or hear something rather that you'd like to share your thoughts on, you can do that as well. And don't forget, this is very important, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And after the video, please leave your rating. All right. So this is the second interview with Miss Shelly Curran and our president, Mr. Joseph L. Patterson. Do enjoy the interview. It's very informative, very engaging as well, and is somewhat relatable to the majority. All right. So don't forget, leave your ratings, and happy to have you guys on. Let's get into it.
Hi, tea timers. Yes, No one never expect me this week, but we have a special guest tonight, and he's gonna kick off my episode 18. He is the president of the third party UIC, Mr. Joseph Patterson. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me, Shelly Ann. A pleasure to be here.
Oh God, it's always a pleasure talking to you. You're so speaky spooky.
I try.
Yes. What's the education background?
Well, I was schooled at Miss Johnson Basic School in Marvally.
Marvally.
Yes. I went to Dunrobin Primary, and then I went to Spanish Town Secondary, and then to St. Andrew Technical High School, where I got a full scholarship to study engineering at UTech.
UTech, you didn't go abroad?
I eventually migrated to Canada, where I studied accounting and economics and management, and I got a degree from Calgary University.
Calgary. Okay, what brings you to politics?
The fact that we have given the other parties almost 80 years now, and the results are very telling that they can't seem to manage to give us what we need. So somebody has to do it, so I've taken up the responsibility.
Who else is in your party?
Well, a lot of Jamaicans from across the country and also from the diaspora. So we have persons in Westmoreland, Montego Bay, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Mary, St. Anne, and of course across the diaspora, Canada, the UK, London.
Do you sit in every parliament sitting?
No. You don't have to physically go and sit there to hear what's going on. I follow the news, I follow what's happening, but most importantly, I follow the stats, like the crime rate, the economic development, the social indicators. And from what you can see, we're failing on just about all of them. And I'm amazed to see that we have the same two parties serving us for almost 80 years now. And if you look at their track record, the exchange rate always going down, generally speaking. The crime rate always going up, generally speaking. The education performance, we fail 70% of our students every year. You look at the social infrastructure, roads, public spaces, dirty, unkept, poorly managed, poorly designed. So they're not really succeeding on any of the basic elements of government. So we, the Jamaican people, have to take back our country and do something different.
What are you doing different?
Very good. So we have taken the time to study what's wrong with Jamaica. And in a nutshell, it's bad governance. We have a constitution which was designed by our colonial masters for us. Just think about it, Shelly. Somebody rob you, rape you, beat you, abduct you, enslave you, and then write a document and say, here's how you must live your life. Would you accept that?
Woo! Adapted mind math! Come explore the site with me. I'm in.
No. And so it's time for us to write a different constitution, a new constitution, a Jamaican constitution, one that is of the people, for the people, and by the people. And that's what the UIC wants to do. We want to give Jamaica a good system of governance with a proper constitution that results in a safe, clean, and orderly society where all of us, me and you, your children, your grandchildren, can live, earn, and retire with dignity.
Do you think Andrew is a thief?
I wouldn't want to call him a thief because I don't have any direct proof or evidence. But if you look anecdotally or step back and assess the situation, Andrew went into politics about the same time I left university. We're roughly the same age. He has spent the last 25, 30 years in politics. So that means he has not been in industry. He has not been building successful businesses. But clearly, he's by far wealthier than most Jamaicans in his age group with his background. Many Jamaicans who have worked harder and longer than him have not been able to achieve that kind of economic position that he has. Now, he might have an explanation for it, but so far, his declarations don't show that explanation. We don't see the link.
And currently, he has not signed an integrity.
Correct. And we have also heard of issues where, he was brought to the Integrity Commission. The investigators said we should investigate, we should prosecute. The prosecutor said we shouldn't prosecute. And then we talk about that. But the real issue is the Jamaican people have been robbed by 79 years of the two parties. Now, I don't want to just put this all on Andrew,
No, it's not.
right? So it's a long history. I mean, if you look at P.J. Patterson, when he left office, he made sure to create a situation where his retirement income would be equal to that of a prime minister's salary for the rest of his life. So he set himself up, but he has not set up the people of Jamaica. So P.J. Patterson failed us, Portia Simpson failed us, Bruce Golden failed us, and now Andrew is also failing us.
So, UIC, how are you planning not to fail us?
Very good. Well, one of the things we've done with the UIC is to make sure it's a people's party and it's an education party. What do I mean by that? The UIC is designed to be funded by the Jamaican people. So you have ordinary people like me and you who are donating to the party.
Who audits that?
Oh, very good. We have an auditor and also the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. So if you go to the ECG right now, our audited statements are there every year. So every dollar is accounted for. But the point I want to make is the two major parties, the two traditional parties, what I call the colonial parties, they have been funded for their entire lifetime by the rich elites of this country. Okay? And so all the results you see us getting is because the rich elites are okay with it. While the majority of us who have been fooled into thinking that these parties love poor people, they have been raping the poor people to enrich a few people and tell us how much they love us. Now, the bottom line is this. As long as we continue to have political parties being funded by the rich elites, those parties will never work for the Jamaican people. And that's why the UIC is funded by people like you and me, giving $1,000 a month, $250 a week, $5,000 a month. Ordinary Jamaicans here at home and abroad. We are the People's Party.
Will you be on the ballot box names in every parish in the next general election?
Well, I can't speak for every single parish. Our goal is to be in every parish. Our goal is to have a candidate in every seat. There are
so
63
then you're not
of them.
clearly looking to be the next prime minister.
Well, it's not a matter of what I'm looking to be the next prime minister. What we're going to achieve is this. If even one UIC candidate is elected, we may very well hold the balance of power. You have like the PNP having 31 seats, the GLP having 31, and we have the one in the middle. Neither of them can form the government without us. If we have 5, that's even more. If we have 10, that's even more. So the bottom line is, give the UIC a space in the parliament, and we will hold them accountable and bring this country to a better place.
Teatime, as I'm liking this. I'm liking this. So, because I want it to be more education wise, because we are all seeing what is happening with the tiptoeing of the balance of power. I'm not picking on Andrew or anything, but the power is in their favor, and you know, we the people are feeling it.
Yes.
And where can Jamaicans at this time look out for certain places? There must be certain parishes that you have targeted to
Absolutely.
say,
I'll tell you one.
tell me 3.
I'll tell you one right off the bat. Northeast St. Elizabeth, that's my constituency. So Northeast St. Elizabeth.
St. Elizabeth, and that would be
So-
Floyd Green's.
No,
ward,
not Floyd Green. That's where, I won't tell you who is there. Just listen, Joseph Patterson is a person. So Northeast St. Elizabeth, and that includes Santa Cruz, Balaclava, Shiloh, and Braze River. So all of those communities are going to vote UIC this election. I live there, by the way. I live in a little area called Elam. I'm on the border of Elam and Bogue. So my property borders Bogue and Elam. So
So you actually live there
I
too.
live there and I work there. I'm a farmer there. I'm an accountant there, and I'm somebody that the community can come to deal with issues. So I'm right there in the heart of Northeast St. Elizabeth. We're also going to win a place called Bethel Town in Westmoreland. We're going to win Edgewater in St. Catherine. So in St. Catherine, we have our good friend, Carlene Ramirez Acosta. She's the General Secretary for the UIC. Out in Westmoreland, we have Winston Wright, who is the chairman of the UIC. In Kingston, we have Mr. Garth Barnett. In Manchester, we have our good friend Vincenza Crawford over there. So we're going to have some strong people running in different areas, and we're going to win as many seats as you, the Jamaican people, want to see won by the UIC.
I like that. What's the funding been like? Do you have the funding to go in with a good, strong marketing plan?
So we're still struggling with funding, but we're doing much better than any third party in the history of Jamaica. You might recall a long time ago there was a party called the NDM. Yeah.
Yes.
Now that wasn't a real third party because that was an offshoot of the JLP, as you know. So when they broke away, they came with some funding from the PSOJ oligarchs behind them. We now are a truly indigenous and grassroots party coming up from the bowels of the
like
Jamaican
that.
people. So we're funded
really
entirely,
like that.
entirely
By
by
the
ordinary
people.
Jamaicans. You don't have anybody in our party who is a breakaway from the PNP and seeking to, let's say we have a grudge against anybody. No, we're all just ordinary Jamaicans.
Looking for
We're
the
not come
better.
from. We're not. And by the way, there are persons there who once voted JLP and once voted PNP, and those who have never voted. Period, and those who want to vote and those who nothing to vote for. We are giving them a home, a place, a united independence Congress. So we are united independent thinkers. We're here for Jamaica, not for party.
Why do you think Andrew hasn't called an election as yet?
There's a number of reasons. So he is within his right not to call an election until early 2025. That's a legal requirement for the general. But for the local government now, he has put it off 4 times in a row. 4 times. Now the first time he put it off, he claimed it was because of COVID. But you might recall, 9 months prior or 9 months earlier than necessary, he called a general election
In the heights of
in the
COVID.
heights of COVID. And that's why the UIC did not contest that election. We said, no, you can't have it both ways. You can't say you're going to lock it down and you're going to tell us how dangerous this is. And then when it suits you, you call an election because you think it's going to be in your favor, which it was. So he won that. Then now, when he saw the UIC rising, he called off the second election because we were rising. And then they sent some people to come to try to destabilize the party internally. They tried to mash it up. We overcome it and start to build again, so he put off the next election again.
So the UIC is one of the reasons.
Of course.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's also other reasons.
There's other reasons, yes.
There are other reasons. And if you analyze it carefully, you'll see that he doesn't want to lose his majority in the local government seats. He knows that he's at various points through his tenure, he has gotten very unpopular. He has never been more unpopular than he is now. So he can't afford to call an election, but at the same breath, he's violating our constitutional rights. He's violating democratic principles, and he's using the opportunity to see if he can find an opportune time, again, like he did in COVID, to call a snap election and win it out of manipulation rather than because the people of Jamaica want him to be there.
What's some of the changes you would make if you were elected?
Okay, there are a number of changes, and I'm going to give you some intellectual ones and then some very practical and pragmatic ones. So intellectually, we need to get rid of the colonial constitution, right? Not just replace the governor general with a president and keep the same system. That's like putting lipstick on a pig. What we need is a real new constitution that reflects Jamaica, that reflects the values of the Jamaican people, that reflects the aspirations of the Jamaican people. So we have a plan for that, and I can tell you more. But now to something very practical, which is dear to my heart. It has to do with the fact that in 1838, when they freed the slaves, it was a fake freedom because you never gave them back them land and you never give them back them money, that you thief them labor. That's one. In 1944, when the JLP and PNP joined with the colonial masters and brought us the right to vote, the democratic right to vote, one man, one vote, them trick we again. Because they got a new system, but the system did not involve giving us back our land or the money them thief from our labor. In 1962 now, this is the third attempt, the third time, they now gave us a fake independence and still did not give us back our land. To this very day, from 44 to now, 80 years of PNP and JLP, they have withheld the land and forced the people them for slave for trying to buy back them land. And then they call them squatters and even go and bulldoze them. The UIC is going to give back the people them land. The land is yours. You shouldn't have to buy the land in Jamaica.
You have the power to give.
Of course, once you elect the UIC, just like how Andrew have the power for bulldoze you.
Jesus, that was one of the questions
Yeah,
here.
just like how Andrew has the power to thief, well, let me not use the word thief. Him have the power to misappropriate and misdirect the funds of the Jamaican people. We, when we're elected as the United Independence Congress of Jamaica, the UIC, we are going to give back every Jamaican the land that was stolen from their ancestors. So if you want back your land, vote UIC.
You hear that? What do you think about my wig?
I don't like the color.
I knew you wouldn't like the color. Yes.
I want to see you in a blue wig.
Blue wig.
Yes.
Yes. What do you think of tea time?
Well, I like your spirit and energy. When you were on UIC Liberty TV, which is what we run, everybody was infatuated with your spirit, with the energy that you bring, with the kind of zest that comes out of you. And so I enjoy not just the conversation, but your personality and being in your space.
Oh, you hear that? Intellectual people like Auntie Shelly mix up. But we like Jamaica too, you know.
Of course.
Where we are about doing and really want our country. Because I could be here in America doing this mix-up program. I choose here.
Absolutely.
And Auntie Shelly tired of putting on the padlock and nobody now give me back the money. You think you won't give me back any money if we vote you in for all of the padlock? The padlock, then put up the padlock, please.
Well, you might recall that a certain prime minister promised us that if we elect him,
We would
We'd
sleep
be able
with
to
our
sleep.
doors open.
Yes, and
I
our
was one of
windows.
such idiots that
Yes,
was
yes,
ringing the
yes.
bell.
yes,
Ting-a-ling-a-ling. All right, now the padlock, we just locked in.
can you imagine if we never had to spend so much money on grills, how much savings that would be on building your house? Can you imagine spending money on building your nice house and you have to live behind bars? Or if there's a fire, you have to be scrambling to try to find the key to open. Now, I've lived
Earthquake? Was the
earthquake.
earthquake was
Exactly. I've lived in Canada for a number of years before I returned to Jamaica. And one of the things that really hit me when I was living there was how much freer I felt. There's no fence around my yard. I have a nice lawn. I just walk from off of the road and walk into my door.
Can I just give you a
Yes,
quick
sure.
experience?
Yes.
My mom and my sister, they live in DC. So my first trip over, I found myself getting up. I was sleeping in my mom's bed, and I got up in the middle of the night, and she said, "What's happening?" I said, I need to check the doors. And she goes, "For what?" And I said, "Yeah, because people can't break in." I said, "We're in Maryland.
Yeah.
It's even if it was open, we wouldn't panic."
Yeah.
And
Is
it
it-
took me a little while to adjust, and I realized it's not them, it's us. And we have become this state of fear is so normalized that we don't even understand the stress that we live in.
It's a culture. If you were living in the countryside, let's say back in the 60s, early 70s, you wouldn't have any grills on your windows.
but
and
now
doors.
it's changed.
No, it's changed. So, and where did that change come from? Culture is a product of governance. If you have bad governance, it shapes your culture. I'll give you an example. Singapore, they got independence from Britain, the same colonial masters, in 1965. Fast forward to today, their murder rate is 0.025 per 100,000. Ours is 46. Look on Singapore, their country, clean and beautiful, east to west, north to south. Look at ours, only the tourist areas are okay. Their school, their children, 99% of them graduate successfully. Ours, we're lucky if we get 30% graduating successfully.
Yeah, and that's because one man or
Governance, good
Governance,
governance.
right. Good governance, but people don't
governance,
understand.
Good governance.
but we want to break it
Yeah,
down.
man, let's break it down.
The prime minister there is a prime minister or president?
Yeah, they had a prime minister, Lee Kuan Yew, back in the
right.
day. Yeah.
So he decided that his change to his country would empower, put the most qualified people, am I right?
You're correct, yes.
In the position. So there was no favors, curry favors.
No nepotism.
No nepotism. So he got rid of that and actually put the best people
in the right position.
In the right position.
Yes.
And we can't ever get some of them old people out of that won't come out, that not doing anything in the governance. They just believe that they belong here.
I mean, they're dinosaurs.
Forever.
Dinosaurs. So look at what this gentleman did, Lee Kuan Yew. He made sure that the number one priority of his government, which is what the UIC is doing, is to eliminate corruption from the top down. When you make an example, for example, if the other day when Andrew was caught in the little business there with the Integrity Commission, and the investigation had gone forward and gone to court, and they said, man, you're guilty, and the Jamaican people say that even if you're a prime minister and you do something wrong, we're going to deal with you. If the people say that, you change their attitude and you lift the country up.
Of course.
That's what Lee Kuan Yew did. His best friend, one of his most senior ministers, got involved in corruption, and him allowed the system, the justice system, to crucify him. So that the people of Singapore could see that we will not tolerate corruption.
Is it the same country that just I'm not sure, but for some weed, I think they put a serious penalty.
No, I know that in Singapore, drugs is a no-no.
It's a no-no.
Yeah,
it's almost a death penalty.
Death penalty, yes.
So recently, I know
they
in
do it,
Singapore,
right.
I just read
Right.
that.
And by the way,
they just-
I don't endorse everything they do. I'm just saying.
But
that
they're strict.
They're very strict.
And,
the strictness,
yes.
the strictness in the right areas. For example, if you say corruption is a no-no, here what happens when we do that. If we eliminate corruption, Jamaica saves a minimum of $275 million a year, a minimum. Add that up. If we eliminate corruption, more money goes to education, more money goes to healthcare, more money goes to micro and small business enterprises, more money goes into designing and building quality roads, more money goes into giving us playgrounds and parks for our families and communities, which we don't have, by the way. You go to most communities, they have no proper playground for the children, no proper parks for the people. Our government treats us like hogs. Look at our communities. They're not designed for dwelling. They're not designed for us to enjoy our Jamaica. It's only tourists must enjoy our Jamaica. I saw them design it. But we in the
they have a
UIC,
beach.
we in the UIC said, no. Let's make all of Jamaica looking, smelling, and feeling like a tourist resort for we the people. And then we invite the tourists to come and enjoy it too. But they have it the other way around.
Mr. Patterson,
Yes.
do you like the color of my wig?
Well, I'm going to be colorblind today and pretend I'm not seeing you wearing the color that you're wearing.
It doesn't fit me?
It fits you. It complements your tone
Yes.
and your dress and everything. If we weren't having a political conversation, it wouldn't matter much at all. But you know, when you're talking politics in Jamaica, color means things to people. And the UIC's color is blue, and we have two other parties who choose orange and green, and you have chosen orange.
I chose orange, and I promise you, when Mark Goldelin or Andrew Goldeness come here, me I go wear blue.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel okay with
You
it.
feel all right with it. All right. Remember, everybody, wigs by Shelly. All the UIC, buy up on the blue wigs. We have all of them. Yes, we have all of the colors same way.
And I heard that you have sold out all your blue wigs so far.
Yes, but we have more coming.
more coming. All
Yes,
right,
so the local election.
You'll have whole heap of blue wigs.
Yes, and so if you need for buy for the supporters, Auntie Shelly have
All
one
right.
now. Right. So, what do you think about Andrew? Oh my God, I keep calling him the Holiness, but I'm going to call him Wholeness. You know that my mom is a Wholeness.
Oh, I didn't know that at all.
Yes.
And names are not so important now because all of us got our names from our slave ancestry, right?
That's true.
So I don't put a lot of stock in names. So for example, PJ Patterson and I share the same last name. We don't share the same values. We don't share the same political party. But we respect the fact that he's a Jamaican and I'm a Jamaican and you're Jamaican. And Andrew Onis is a Jamaican. So we must
Yes.
respect all Jamaicans, regardless of names or even partisan association.
Yes. I like your philosophy.
Thank you.
Yes. How is your wife?
She's doing very well. She was sorry she won't be here today because she had to do some business.
She watches Tea Time?
She not normally, and I'm being
She
very
don't like
honest with
mix
you.
up. She's not into the mix up.
Well, she watches it. The last time you were on with me on UIC Liberty TV, she watched it intently.
Jesus.
Yes, so she was quite clued into that, and I'm sure when this one airs, she'll be watching that as well.
Big up wifey. She don't
Yes.
wear wigs.
No, she doesn't. Well, I shouldn't say she doesn't. She has worn wigs in the past, but my wife now has a full hair of dreadlocks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she has grown it and it has blossomed and mushroomed, and so.
Okay. So no wigs.
yeah,
So
no
I can't
wigs for
still
her.
learn nothing.
Yes. But my daughters wear wigs.
Okay. So maybe you can support
Yeah,
Auntie
when
Shelly.
they're in the winter, when
Yes.
they travel, U.S., Canada, they
Yes.
put on the wigs to keep their head warm.
What do you want to tell Jamaica right now?
Well, right now, we're in a very, very unique moment. Once again, we're being faced with the idea of changing our governance model. Yeah? So we have gone through what they call self-governance in the 1940s, where we got the right to vote. We have gone through now 60 years of so-called independence with a foreigner as head of state, a white woman in England, and now a white man in England, king. And today we're talking about going republic. And I want to tell all Jamaicans, let us not make the same mistake that we have made in the past. In the past, we allowed two parties to trick us into a model of governance that doesn't work for us. The time has come for us to have a true republic, a republic that is for the people, of the people, and designed to meet the interest of all Jamaicans. I can tell you this, if we allow them to trick us again, we may never recover from the disaster that results. We need a true republic. One, Sister Shelly, a true republic that protects your life, your liberty, and your property rights. A true republic which will allow never again a prime minister to get money from foreigners to inject us against our will. That will not allow a prime minister to lock us down against our will. That will not allow laws to come in to deny us our right to speak freely. That will not jail us, as they did me, for simply protesting against the government and saying we must get permission from them. We want a country where freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of association, and freedom of choice are fully protected. We want a country where every Jamaican can live, earn, and retire with dignity. We want a country which is safe, which is clean, which is orderly. We want a country which is truly Jamaican.
Well said.
Let me tell you see island I wear them are the best thing in the island.
Can you tell our tea timers where to find you on your social media platform? We're going to put it up on the screen.
Sure. So you can find us on the internet at uicjamaica.com. So uicjamaica.com. And you can find us on any social media platform by just typing in UIC Jamaica. So at UIC Jamaica for Facebook, at UIC Jamaica for Twitter, at UIC Jamaica for YouTube. And if you want to watch us on our YouTube channel, it's UIC Liberty TV. We're always there showing something.
I appreciate you being here. You know, this is a mix-up channel.
Yes, a mix-up. No, what's the mix-up today?
I just have a question.
All right.
You ever get your wife bun?
Bun. You know, we recently bought a lot of Easter bun with my...
Jesus.
What? You mean something else?
Yeah.
So we got some love. I won't give the name of the company because I'm not giving any free
them not pay
promotion.
Auntie Shelly. They will call them names.
But we bought some lovely Easter bun.
So you're a
and
family
cheese.
man.
Yeah, man. I've been married. Let me tell you about my wife quickly.
Yes.
Okay. So I met my wife in the grade 8. Grade 8. Okay?
I never
Grade
get
8.
her bun.
Hold on.
Jesus.
As I said before, I bought her
He's
some
not a
lovely
normal
Easter bun.
Jamaican.
I bought her some love. So in grade 8 we met. And so we've been friends ever since. When I was head boy, she was head girl. When I was student council president, she was secretary. Science club president, she was secretary. Drama club president, she was secretary. all the way through, and we got married right after college. We've been married now this year 29 years.
No, may I tell you, ladies?
29 years, and we have
Me,
three
I tell you,
children.
ladies, this is what you have to achieve. If you can hold him,
Absolutely.
29 years
Absolutely.
strong.
Absolutely.
Top woman.
We
Big her
got
up.
we got married at 23 years old, and it's marriage. And by the way, marriage is not an easy thing. It's difficult because you're talking about two different persons coming together and trying to figure out how to work together. How to deal with money, how to deal with children, how to deal with challenges in life. And so we have had to figure that out together without the experience of having. We both came from broken homes. My mother and father wasn't married. My mother was a single mother, so I grew up in a single parent home, one room house actually. My wife was born in Hanover. Her mother had to leave her at 9 years old to go abroad to, barrel kids and that kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
So we're coming from the heart of Jamaica, but we determined and we decided we wanted better. We wanted to give our children and our country an example of what a family could be, and that's what we are today.
And funny enough, you might think that my question was really off, but it was really to test the value that you have at your home. Because I find that a lot of people want to lead and they don't have any values even for their own homes, but they want to sit in parliament. So you pass the test.
Okay,
You
thank
pass
you,
the
thank
test. You can become prime minister.
Oh,
I
wow.
like that.
You're most welcome. You're
Yes,
most
I'm a
welcome.
big up your wife and you know what I like? I like a man that can stick by a woman and be proud and don't have to stray. It shows that you're very determined, you have control,
Self-control, very important.
self-control.
I don't know if you're a Christian person, but the Bible speaks of the fruit of the Spirit. And to me, they're very important. It speaks of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and above all, it talks about self-control. If you have self-control, you can manage everything else. Money, you can manage effectively. Business, you can manage effectively. Your children, you can manage effectively. Your home, your wife, your life, even your health. It takes a lot of self-control to eat properly, to, just manage your constitution. So I'm not perfect, by the way. I'm not the Messiah. I'm not Jesus Christ. But what I try to do is to learn from the past, learn from my ancestors, learn from history, and then use that to adjust myself to be the best person I can possibly be.
Mr. Patterson, it was a pleasure.
Same here.
It
same
was
here.
a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am always having the problem of not wanting to say goodbye because your intellect and your reasoning skills is just always like on a different level.
Thank you
It's
so
quite
much.
refreshing.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
And tea timers, go on and log in. This is a different avenue from what we are used to. They don't really care about colors over there. They care about constitution and rights and freedom of speech and values and control. Us taking control and having a balance of power. Give them a chance and listen to Mr. Patterson, a very nice man. Thank you for being here on
My
Tea
pleasure.
Time.
Thank you for having me. And please, Jamaicans, I know you're going through a rough time right now. The economy is difficult. You're having stressful moments. The depression level is higher and higher and higher. But hang on and hold on. Help is on the way. The UIC is here for you.
And there you have it, everyone. There you have it. Another brilliant, informative, and very, very, very engaging live. But please do not allow me to be biased because I will be. So please leave your ratings in the chat. The ratings go from 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. Now, in that interview, you would have heard the president mention that the UIC is still struggling with funding, right? And remember, we solely depend on our supporters, which are regular Jamaicans, persons locally and persons in the diaspora, to fund the party. Because truth is, we cannot do this without you. All right, so in any way you can help, all help is welcome, whether you want to donate, you want to become a member of the UIC, you want to volunteer, even just to share our content to on your personal platforms, that also helps. All right, there are a number of ways you can donate. You can do so through the website, you can do so via bank transfer, and if you need alternative ways you can donate to the party, you can also reach us at 1-876-471-6598 for further assistance. Now, the live will end soon, but please, after the live ends, please go on and leave your comments, what you think about the live. If is there ways we can improve, what else you would like to see us come with. All right, so it was great being here with you guys tonight. But we are running out of time. We have to go now. All right. So do enjoy the rest of your night, everyone. Have a blessed night, and thank you so much for being here. And please remember, one Jamaica, stronger together. Good night, everyone, and be safe. Thanks for joining.